Hey guys, welcome to the channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Special thanks to all of my patrons. My name's Neil and it's time for another episode of University Challenge. For those of you who are regulars to my University Challenge reactions, don't worry. I will be getting back to the quarterfinals of this most recent series, but I felt I would be remiss if I didn't investigate something. When I first started reacting to University Challenge this year, a number of people in the comments told me that Jeremy Paxman, while an efficient quizmaster, doesn't hold a candle to the original host of University Challenge, one Bamber Gascoigne. I'm not even positive how to pronounce his first name. I'm not sure whether that second B is silent or not. I'm going to call him Bamber until I find out differently on the show, or you tell me in the comments. Nevertheless, I felt there was a lot of support for that point of view, that Bamber was the best, the original, the best, and he was worth checking out. Now, unfortunately, there are, as far as I can tell, only 2 episodes of classic University Challenge on YouTube for me to peruse. I'm going to do one of them right now, and this is an episode from 1987. It's University College Oxford versus the Open University. I think it might be one of the semi-finals of that series, but this is 1987, folks, which A, is a long time ago, and B, not that long before my peak quizzing years, so kind of crazy, but this is definitely a throwback. I hope you'll check it out with me, and let's see what Bamber Gascoigne was all about. And I'll have to remember that if they ask how many planets there were 9 at the time.
Now let's watch University Challenge.
Granada.
Asking the questions, Bamber Gascoigne.
Hello and welcome again
Different
to
spin on the
University
opening
Challenge
music.
and to the first of our 2 semi-finals. The teams are University College Oxford and the Open University.
Oh, they're serious. Those are some serious fellas.
And now the Open University and their captain.
Helen Grayson, unwaged house spouse from Newport, Gwent, studying
Unwaged
theology.
house spouse?
Starter for 10. What is the name in Baba of the oldest and the wisest of the elephants?
Univ Dowell Smith.
Cornelius.
Cornelius is correct. What does the name Stalin mean?
Man
Steel.
of Steel.
Man of Steel, 5 points. Second, what was Stalin's real surname?
Djugashvili.
Djugashvili, 5 points. And last, between which 2 like-minded rulers was the so-called Pact of Steel?
Hitler and Stalin.
About like it was Mussolini and Hitler, I'm afraid. Which French author, who was much concerned about the Dreyfus case, wrote
Univ Squire.
Zola.
Zola?
Wow.
First, what name was given to the famous invention of William Hedley's, which began work in 1813 at a Northumberland mine?
Steam engine.
Well, no, there's a
Steam.
particular name for this one. It was the Puffing Billy that began work there. Which British opera of 1951 with no female role?
Billy Budd.
Billy Budd. Billy Budd, yes, 5 points. And last, who wrote the music for the ballet Billy the Kid?
Aaron Copeland.
Aaron Copeland, 5 points. In an ecological food
This is
chain, what is the
chaotic.
meaning of the term producer?
Open Grayson.
It's a plant which actually fixes sunlight.
Correct. Who became governor of the Bank of England in 1983?
Robin Pemberton.
Lee Pemberton, yes, 5 points. Second, in which of the arts is Jerome Robbins distinguished?
Choreography.
Yes. Who wrote A Robin Redbreast in a Cage Puts All Heaven
William
in a
Blake.
Rage? William Blake, 5 points. Which composer used the term the years in the galleys to describe the period of strenuous effort in the 1840s, during which he wrote...
Univ Dowell Smith.
Berlioz.
No.
Verdi.
Verdi, 10 points. Which French word meaning of fishing out again refers to a second chance in certain contests, particularly rowing?
Repêchage.
Repêchage, 5 points. Secondly, England's national water
We're just
sports centre
blowing
at
along
Pierpont is near which city?
Nottingham.
5 points. Which is the principal single sculls event of the Henley Royal Regatta?
The Diamond
The
Skull.
Diamond Sculls is correct. Which single word is sometimes used instead of vapor trail for the trail?
Open Grayson.
Contrail.
Contrail,
Contrail,
short for
right.
condensation trail. In art, what does the term grisaille indicate about a
It's
picture?
like a statue, imitates a statue.
Something
it's a kind,
more
it's a kind of monochromatic
Yes,
effect.
monochromatic is the point. Second, who was persuaded on his deathbed to name Lady Jane Grey as his successor?
Edward VI.
5 points. And last, Francois Leclerc du Tremblay, known as the Grey Eminence, or Eminence grise, was the confidant of which French statesman?
Richelieu.
Richelieu, 5 points. Which was the first comedy by Sheridan, performed on
Univ Dowell-Smith.
The Rivals.
The Rivals, 10 points, and they're off again. Which Hungarian composed symphonies based on Goethe's Faust and Dante's
Liszt.
Liszt, 5 points. Second, who directed a film called Listomania, based loosely on the composer's life?
Ken Russell.
5 points. And last, Liszt wrote a symphonic poem and piano pieces named after which Cossack leader, about whom Tchaikovsky also wrote an opera?
Mazeppa.
5 points. Which view data system has services called respectively mailbox and gateway and is operated?
Open Sanderson.
Prestel.
Prestel, 10 points to open. Which type of transport is the business of Alan Bristow, who was much in the news in January 1986?
Helicopters.
Helicopters, 5 points. Second, in January 1987, who beat Eric Bristow in the final of the World Professional Darts Championship?
John Lowe.
John Lowe.
John Lowe, 5 points. And last, which cartoonist draws the Bristow comic strip about a clerk who works in a large office?
Frank Dickens.
Frank Dickens, 5 points. Which acidulous-sounding writer helped to found Punch in 1841?
Open
Mark
Sanderson.
Lemon.
Mark Lemon is correct. Which word can mean either the remainder of a pack of cards after hands have been dealt, or a claw?
Stock.
No, talon. Second, which fabulous bird is described by Sinbad as large enough to carry elephants in its talons?
The Rock.
The Rock, 5 points. And last, which
Got
fabulous
one.
creature has an eagle's talons, wings, and head with a lion's body?
Griffin.
Griffin, 5 points. Which German author wrote the play The Plebeians Rehearse the Uprising in 1966?
Sorry, no.
It is better known for his earlier novels such as Cat and Mouse and Dog Years.
Univ Dowell-Smith.
Heinrich Böll.
No, Gunter Grass. What is the term in Roman Catholic doctrine for the body of the Virgin Mary being taken up into heaven?
Univ Dowell-Smith.
Bodily assumption.
Assumption is the word, correct. The name of Bedloe's Island off New York was in 1960 officially changed to what?
Rikers.
Liberty Island.
Liberty Island, 5
Oh, that's
points.
right,
Second.
Liberty,
Who
okay.
sculpted the Statue of Liberty that stands on Liberty Island?
Lamarck.
It is French. He's got an Italian name soon enough. He's Bartoldi. What does Liberty hold in her right hand and in her left? You have to get them both correctly placed.
Left. Foot right.
I'm afraid you've actually got it right, the wrong way around. You're a mirror image, right? You've too much looking in the mirror from your team. Of which tragedy of about 1610 is Vittoria Corombona the central?
Univ Dowell-Smith.
Webster's The White Devil.
Webster's The White Devil, 10 points. Which was the first film, a Western, made by Jane Russell in the 1940s, the release of which was delayed for some years, ostensibly because of censorship problems, but perhaps to make it more sensational?
White Heat.
The Outlaw, it's called. Second, who directed and played the lead in the film The Outlaw Josie Wales?
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood, 5 points. And last, which Australian artist painted a series of pictures of the outlaw or bushranger Ned Kelly?
Hogan.
No, Sidney Nolan.
Hogan. I get that joke.
Your starter then, a tenor and baritone duet for you to identify. I want to know which opera does it come from? Here it is.
Don Carlos.
No.
Verdi Otello.
Otello is correct, well done indeed. And now this one, here it is.
Tristan Isolde.
It is indeed. Finally this one, here it is.
Les Harlem Merry Widow.
Bad luck, it's the real Engelbert Humperdinck, Hansel and Gretel. What is the word for the existence of an element in two or more solid liquid or gaseous?
Open Spry.
Allotropy.
Allotropy, correct. Which king of Epirus has given his name to any costly victory too damaging in loss of
Pyrrhus.
life to be worth winning?
Pyrrhus.
Pyrrhus, 5 points. Second, which battle in 1859 in northern Italy gave its name to a bluish-crimson colour?
Magenta.
5 points. And last, which battle in 1800 in northern Italy gave its name to a chicken recipe invented by Napoleon chef?
Marengo.
Marengo. Who introduced new standards of wood engraving in the late 18th century with his history of British birds?
Univ Mortimer.
Audubon.
Buick, 10 points. Which conqueror known as the Scourge of God ruled at first with his brother Bleda but murdered him in about 445 AD?
Attila.
5 points. Second, which actress, one of the four founders of United Artists, was known because of her business acumen as Attila of Sunnybrook Farm, as well as the world's sweetheart?
Mary Pickford, yeah.
5 points. And last, United Artists was formed in 1919 by Mary Pickford and 3 men. 5 points for any 2 of those 3.
Chaplin
Douglas Fairbanks
and
Senior.
Yes?
Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin gives
Buster
you your
Keaton.
5 points for the 2. The third was Griffiths, D.W. Griffiths. So you've got 5 points for Fairbanks and Chaplin, and that's brought you up to any... Which city was protected by the defences at Torres Vedras?
Open Evans.
Lisbon.
Lisbon, and they're off again. What did the initials of the writer J.B. Priestley stand
John
for?
Boynton.
5 points. Second, in which year did Priestley publish Festival at Farbridge to coincide with the Festival of Britain?
1951.
5 points. And last, in 1774, Joseph Priestley isolated a gas which he called dephlogisticated
Oxygen.
air. Oxygen, 5 points. Which Duke of Normandy, son of a king of England, twice saw his younger brothers mount the English throne?
Univ Mortimer.
Robert I.
Robert would have done me. I'll let you have it. It's actually Robert II, actually, Duke of Normandy, but I've accepted Robert, Duke of Normandy. I will let you have it. First, which American television comedy series is about 3 women all over 50 who share a Miami
Golden
apartment?
Girls.
Golden Girls.
5 points. Second, whose last opera was The Golden Cockerel, first produced in
Rimsky-Korsakov.
5 points. And last, in Exodus, who made the golden calf which the Israelites worshipped? Aaron, 5 points. And we're halfway through the show with the score at...
Man, the pace of this is frantic.
And here's a starter. What phrase is used in literature for the presentation of inanimate objects in nature?
Univ authors.
Pathetic fallacy.
Pathetic fallacy, 10 points. By what other name do we know the Indian city of Varanasi?
I only know it as Varanasi.
Agra.
No, Benares.
No.
Second, of which island group
Benares.
is Benbecula a part? And you have to be precise.
Outer Hebrides.
Outer Hebrides, 5 points. And last, of which newly independent country was Ahmed Ben Bella president in the 1960s?
Brunei. 87?
Algeria.
5 points. What is the scientific name for each of the 2 branches into which the trachea or windpipe divides, each leading to a lung?
Open Grayson.
Bronchi.
Bronchi, correct. First, which widow of a president of the USA became chairman of the United Nations Commission on Human Rights?
Eleanor Roosevelt.
5 points, Eleanor Roosevelt. Second, what was Eleanor Roosevelt's maiden name before she married F.D. Roosevelt?
Roosevelt.
in 1905?
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt also last. How many times was F.D. Roosevelt elected president?
4 times.
4 times, correct. Who wrote the film scripts for The Go-Between, Accident?
L.P. Hartley.
No, 5 points, bad luck. He wrote the novel, but The French Lieutenant's Woman and Betrayal. You're on your own.
Univ Squire.
Harold Pinter.
Harold Pinter, 10 points. First, in mythology, who was the mother of Helen and Clytemnestra?
Leader of Sparta.
5 points. Second, which 2 boys were the brothers of Helen and Clytemnestra born at the same time?
Castor and Pollux.
5 points. And last, what part of the human body is the pollex?
The thumb.
The thumb, 5 points. Name the tax reduced to 1% in the 1984 budget and imposed on house purchases of more than 30,000.
Open Grayson.
Stamp duty.
Stamp duty, 10 points. What is the word for the order in which a peal of bells may be rung?
Change.
A change, 5 points. And last for 5 points, in what field is the phrase change of venue an official term?
Law.
The law is correct. Which creature with partially webbed toes and sparse hair may grow to about 4 feet long, belongs to the guinea pig family, and is the largest living
Capybara.
rodent?
Open Spry.
Capybara.
Capybara, 10 points. First, in which ancient empire did provincial governors bear the title satrap?
The Persian Empire.
5 points Persian. Second, in which part of the former British Empire were the native rulers with the title Gaikwar? Anyone?
India.
India is correct. What word meaning the ruler of a quarter of a territory was particularly used for subordinate rulers of Syria in the Roman Empire?
Tetrarch.
Tetrarch is correct. Who were the last football team to achieve in 1971 what Liverpool next did?
Univ authors.
Arsenal.
Arsenal, correct, which has won the league and the cup in the same season. What official in the Roman Catholic Church is appointed to put the case against the beatification or canonation of a candidate?
Devil's advocate.
Correct. Second, what sort of devil is the small, ferocious marsupial?
Tasmanian devil.
Tasmanian devil.
Tasmanian, 5 points. And last, who or what was a printer's devil?
Urchin who sort of helps out in a
Yes,
apprentice
an
shop,
errand boy,
doesn't he?
correct. For your picture question today, you have to identify islands from their outline. First of all, which island is this?
Univ authors.
Malta.
Jersey, very quick indeed. You're not going to see them with north of the
Cuba.
top as you would in an atlas, but we have shown you the direction north
yes, it
is.
is, isn't it? It's Cuba.
It is Cuba, correct. Now this one.
Madagascar.
Sardinia.
No, it's Madagascar. And last, this one.
Sri Lanka.
Ceylon.
Ceylon is correct, Sri Lanka. What is the term for the type of play in which the characters represent abstract vices and virtues?
A morality
A
play.
morality play is correct. What is the chess term for a simultaneous attack on 2 pieces by 1 piece, especially a knight?
Double play.
Fork.
Fork, 5 points. Second, of which King of England was Sweyn Forkbeard, the father?
Canute.
Canute is correct, 5 points. And last, in what narrow pass in the Apennines did the Samnites defeat the Romans in 3
Caudine Forks.
The Caudine Forks, correct, 5 points. Who died while taking his regular medical treatment to relieve a skin infection? The treatment taking the form...
Open Sanderson. Mara.
Mara.
Somebody threw up their hand
Who
and
was the
answered.
Polish-born wife of the playwright Ashley Dukes, who founded a famous ballet company and was made a DBE in 1960?
Rambert.
Marie Rambert, 5 points. In what field did Marie Corelli, who was born in 1855, become sensationally
Novelist.
successful? Novelist, 5 points. And last, who is the author of the 1923-volume Contraception? Its Theory, History and Practice.
Marie Stopes.
Mary Stopes, 5 points. Which mathematical discipline is defined as the collection, organization, and interpretation of numerical data?
Statistics.
Statistics, 10 points. And which American inventor in the field of communications had the first names Samuel Finley Breeze?
Morse.
5 points, Morse. Second, what was the 4-word message Morse sent to open his first telegraph line from Baltimore to Washington in 1844? It was, what hath God wrought? And last, Morse took that quotation, what hath God wrought, from the 4th book of the Old Testament. Which book?
Deuteronomy.
No,
Numbers.
Numbers. Deuteronomy being the 5th. Which republic of West Africa am I describing? It is on the Gulf of Guinea, It was in the 19th century a powerful Negro kingdom famed for its women warriors. It became a French colony in 1893.
Ivory Coast.
No bad luck. Gained independence in 1960 until 1975 was called Dahomey and is famous also for its early bronzes.
Togo.
Benin.
Benin, 10 points.
It was one of the two. It was Togo or Benin.
What is the SI unit of illumination of 1 lumen per square meter?
Candle.
Candela.
No, a lux, that one is. The Egyptian town of Luxor forms the southern half of Thebes. What village has given its name to the northern half and to the great temple there?
Karnak.
5 points, Karnak. And last, to which god with a double-barreled name was the great temple of Karnak dedicated?
Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra, correct. Which country won the cricket championship in 1986?
Univ Squire.
Australia.
Country, I said country, I meant to say rather than country, of course. Do you want to cancel your buzzing?
Cancel.
I mean,
Cancel.
choose either way.
Right, throw it in
Throw it
again.
again. Right, I'll start again. My apologies. Which county...
Univ Authors.
Essex is correct.
Too much time for everyone else to think about it.
Which weekly magazine did Alan Coren become editor in 19... 5 points. And last,
That's
who
Victoria's
succeeded Richard
dad.
Ingrams as editor of Private Eye?
Hislop. Ian Hislop.
Hislop is... Which theatre burned down during a performance of Henry VIII?
Univ Squire.
The Globe.
10 points. What activity does a silviculturalist specialise?
Trees.
Trees.
Well, a second. What is the word for the art of clipping or trimming trees and shrubs?
Topiary.
5 points. What is the word for fixing dates in the past by studying the growth rings in ancient trees?
Dendrochronology.
Dendrochronology, 5 points. What is made on a Fordrinia machine and comes in varieties known as wove or laid and has its weight usually...
Open Grayson.
Paper.
Paper, 10 points. Which Roman emperor, born in 37 AD, was originally named Lucius Domitius Ahenobarbus
Augustus.
and was the son of Agrippina?
Nero.
5 points. Second, which Roman poet who was Nero's tutor was ordered by the emperor in AD 65 to commit suicide following accusations of conspiracy?
Seneca.
Seneca, 5 points. And last, which British actor was nominated for an Oscar when he played Nero in Quo Vadis in 951, then won an Oscar as the master of gladiators in Spartacus?
Peter Ustinov.
Peter Ustinov, and that gives you 5 points.
Wow.
Which tall, broad-faced variety of man succeeded Neanderthal man during the Ice Age?
Cro-Magnon.
Cro-Magnon, yes, 10 points. Give me the name of either the former Bishop of Worcester or the Bishop of London, who together were burned at the stake in Oxford on October the 16th.
Latimer and Ridley.
5 points. And second, as that was 1555, so in which year was Cranmer burned?
56.
56 is correct. And last, which adjective describes a church governed by bishops?
Episcopalian.
Episcopal, correct. Which city has been since 1976 the capital of the whole of Vietnam?
Hanoi.
Univ Authors.
Hanoi is correct. In zoology, what is the grouping which includes one or more classes?
An order.
It is
Phylum.
Phylum, 5
Phylum.
points. Second, what is the
Other
corrective
way.
term in zoology for the phylum of creatures with jointed appendages including centipedes, insects,
Arthropods.
Arthropods, 5 points. And last, which class of arthropods have no antennae and include scorpions, ticks, mites, and spiders?
Arachnids.
Arachnids, correct. Who was Prime Minister of Britain in 1795?
Univ Dowell Smith.
William Pitt the Younger.
William Pitt the Younger, 10 points. Which engineer built a railway with a 7-foot gauge between Paddington and Bristol?
Brunel.
Points. Second, between 1837 and 58, Brunel designed 3 steamships, each the largest in the world when they were launched, each using the word great. All
Great
three...
Western, Great Britain, Great Eastern.
5 points. And last, the Great Eastern was never successful as a passenger liner, but was converted in the 1860s to a different function. What?
It was laying telegraph lines
Cable.
across
Yes,
Atlantic.
yes, cable, correct. To which island did the Kuomintang retreat in 1949?
Open Sanderson.
Formosa.
Formosa, 10 points. First, what is the nickname for the Royal Horse Guards?
Blues.
Blues, 5 points. Second, who was the royal founder in 1553 of Christ's Hospital, known also as the Bluecoat School?
Edward VI.
5 points. And last, by what nickname is Kentucky State known?
Bluegrass.
The speed of what is today rated in ISO numbers, though formerly in AS... Photographic film, 10 points. First, what mechanical engineering unit of power in the FPS system is equal to 745.7 watts or 550
1 horsepower.
per second?
Calorie.
No, 1 horsepower. Second, what is the word for the small wild horse of North America descended from Spanish stock?
Mustang.
5 points. And last, what is the English name for Aesculus hippocastanum, so called because its nut was used for treating diseases of horses?
Horsenut. Chestnut.
Horse chestnut.
is correct, 5 points. Which Spanish artist created a jewel which was a pulsing ruby heart, as well as surrealist pictures of dream images?
Open Grayson.
There's Dahlia's the score at
Wow.
Unit 405, Open 335. Goodbye.
Wow. That was a blur. Wow. That was an incredible performance by both teams. The speed of it, the pacing was incredible. No one took a time to think. They were spitting out answers, really strong breadth across the teams. Like it seemed like all 4 members of each team were spitting answers out left and right. It appears to me I just realized they didn't have buzzers. Or at least... No, they must have had buzzers. It sure didn't feel like they had... Maybe they didn't have buzzers. How did I not notice? It just felt like they were just... Whoever spat out an answer first, you got it. And... Boom. Bang. So fast. Over 700 points combined score. Blows my mind. I get why this episode is on YouTube. This isn't just a random episode that has survived. It's a special episode. And wow. Definitely a different pace to it, and it takes a moment to adjust. Bamber certainly... I mean, I'm trying to think if anyone got anything wrong, because where Jeremy Paxman really sort of is notable is when somebody gets something that he thinks is easy wrong. There's definitely a note of disdain in his no. Of course, it's this instead. I'm honestly not sure if there were any corrections like that from Bamber, but he certainly came off as a more friendly personality. But his pace was amazing. Wow. That was a lot of fun. You know, you can't help but be struck by the production level of the late 80s. The 4x3 letterbox, the very simple digital scores. I love the understatedness of the intro. Just a little bit of a pipe, a flute intro. Same tune though, that hasn't changed. But yeah, just very simple, low-key, great participation from the studio audience. That was just a fun episode all around. Honestly, if I were to show you my performance in Canadian Nationals of Reach for the Top, it probably wouldn't look too different than this, although you have to remember we were high school, so it's at a slightly lower level of quiz, and it's a little more Canadian-centric, obviously, but the vibe, the tone, the hairstyles wouldn't be that far off. That was a lot of fun. And don't worry, next week I'll be back with the next quarterfinal match from Series 51. So look forward to that. And until then, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.